Hi everyone, it's James here. Welcome to another video. Welcome to nearly New Year's Eve 2021, and hope everybody had a good festive season. So I thought I would check in, do a quick rundown of my 10 favourite vinyl pickups from 2021. It was a good year. I was checking back through, I don't know how many vinyl updates I made, but there was quite a few there. And it was a year of catching up on things that had been missing from the collection. There was a fair few videos I noticed where I was picking up things, fairly common albums, but things that I'd been looking for a long time. But I'm going to focus today on the ones that were a little bit more off the beaten track. Nothing here that's madly unusual or anything, but anyway, I'll kind of do a very rough 10 to 1, with 1 being my favourite, but don't take that too seriously. So we'll start with this. This is Trans by Neil Young. And this is the album that he made in goodness knows when it was, probably about 1981, something like that. And it's his kind of lost 80s classic. Didn't go down well with the critics at the time, but I think it's now seen as being a bit of a cult classic, I think. Great sci-fi cover, nostalgic 80s sounds for it for so long that it was nice to find a copy of it. This one, quite a recent purchase. This was a pretty incredible find, actually. This is an original copy of Boogie with Canned Heat, which I picked up from my regular market traders a couple of weeks back. I think I paid £15 for it. Absolutely beautiful condition. It's got On the Road Again on it, which I notice. I've been watching Get Back, the Beatles film, and there's a great little sequence in that where Paul McCartney does an impromptu version of it. So yeah, that was nice to get hold of. That's number 9. This next one is the first reissue that I'm going to show. Don't think it was necessarily a reissue that came out last year. Might have been, not sure. But it's an album that I've been long curious about, so I thought I'd finally pick it up. This may have been a birthday gift, actually. This is the Rain Parade and Emergency Third Rail Power Trip, which if it was a birthday gift, I would have had that back in August. And this one is on green vinyl, Real Gone Music. So these guys were the originators, or one of the originators, of the Paisley Underground sound, and the sound owes an awful lot to mid-1960s Beatles. I mean, it's basically And Your Bird Can Sing and Rain, done in various different guises, very kind of hard metallic guitar sounds. Nice songwriting. The songs haven't grabbed me as much as I thought they would. It's more, at the moment, it's more the sound of the record, the sound of the vocals, the guitars, the production, which I find quite beguiling. The songs have yet to get under my skin, but it may just be that I need to spend more time. Very influential band. It's one of those situations where the band, I think, maybe is so influential that when you hear their music, it actually sounds derivative, because there are so many bands that have copied them. But anyway, it was nice to finally get it. The Rain Parade, Emergency Third Rail Power Trip. And then another reissue. This one, I think it was Doug at Fat City Vinyl. Originally I saw show it, but a fair few people have showed it already. Have shown it as well, rather. And I know Steve Whitty had this in his end of year best of. This is Madhu Mokhtar and Afrique Victim. So this is Hendrix derived desert blues, African rock, funk, psychedelic kind of sound. Sounds absolutely tremendous. 2021 on Matador, so this was actually released last year. He's an electric guitarist and very influenced by Hendrix and the Desert Blues. Hypnotic, wonderful stuff. And side 2 builds to a real climax with the track Afrique Victim. Really powerful stuff. So there we go, Madhu Mokhtar. Splendid stuff. Just a couple of cheap and cheerful soul ones now that I wanted to highlight, because they're both absolutely terrific. Fantastic records, both picked up quite cheaply from my market traders. This first one, this is Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, and Vandellas, should I say, and Natural Resources on Motown. Came out in 1970. Always pick stuff up on Motown when I see it. Just a complete no-brainer. This is the first album by Martha Reeves and the Vandellas that I've ever bought, and it is fantastic. It's got a version of Something on it by the Beatles, which is beautiful. There's a version of Everybody's Talking by Fred Neil, which is fantastic. Put a Little Love in Your Heart by Jackie DeShannon, which is brilliant. It's just a brilliant album, wonderful musicianship from the backing guys as usual, and just incredible vocals from Martha and the girls. So that was wonderful, and what a fantastic cover that is. And this one probably even better, which is why I've got it slightly above. This is a fantastic album, and not one I don't think that gets a huge amount of attention for Aretha Franklin. This is With Everything I Feel in Me, which memory's telling me it was her 21st album. Produced by Joey Wexler, Tom Dowd, Arif Martin and Aretha Franklin. Beautiful cover, obviously. And this one, it's got a good selection of tracks on it. It's got Burt Bacharach's You'll Never Get to Heaven. There's a track by her sister, I think, Carolyn Franklin, Sing It Again, Say It Again. Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Bacharach and Hal David again. Tremendous. Like I said, I don't think it was a very successful record for her, but a marvellous one to find in the collection. Okay, so there's 4 left. So these are kind of roughly in order. This next one I could have put at number 1, because in a way it is my find of the year. But the reason I'm not going to put it number 1 is that it's a compilation album at the end of the day, but it could have come at number 1. So this is Muddy Waters, the best of Muddy Waters. This is the record that Mick Jagger was carrying at the Dartford station when he met Keith Richards back in 1961 or something. And I think Mick had ordered the original version on Chess Records. This is a 60s repress, but it is on Chess. And I bought that from Oxfam. 20 quid it cost me. I'd left it there at least twice, kept going back and looking at it thinking I need to buy this record, but kept leaving it there for some reason. I don't know why. But I finally went back and got it. And it's terrific. It's just very primal, gutsy, quite funky. Just got some cracking tracks on it, you know, Hoochie Coochie, She Moves Me, I Just Want to Make Love to You, Rolling Stone. I mean, come on, Muddy. Okay, so again, this one could have come at number 1 in a way. The reason I'm putting it at number 3 is because I did have it on CD already, so I'm going with 2 albums at the top of the list, which I didn't own already. But this was probably my reissue of the year. This is World Party and Bang. Not done with the original artwork, which is a shame. This was the album that came out in, it would have been probably 93, something like that. Carl Wallinger. The follow-up to Goodbye Jumbo. This was the first World Party album I ever heard, and it's got the track Is It Like Today on it, which is just incredible. One of the most beautiful kind of psyche folk tracks you'll ever hear. Great songwriter, and This is one of my all-time favourite albums of the 1990s, without a shadow of a doubt. So it was so wonderful to get hold of it. Shame about the cover, but you can't have everything. So these next 2, I did struggle a little bit to put them 2 and number 1. I went for this one in the end at number 2, even though I did so enjoy this record, and it was a bit of a surprise really, because I was kind of expecting it to be not wonderful. I thought it would be good, but I didn't realise it was going to be quite so good. This is The Apprentice by John Martin. Came out in 1990, Permanent Records, and this was John coming out of his 80s phase. You know, John Martin in the 80s, he made some records which were maybe a little bit questionable on the production side, bit of a polite wine bar ambience coming through. He went into the 90s, he made an album called Cool Tide, which has always been one of my favourites, and then I think this one came after that. Or maybe this one came first. Actually, this may have come first, actually, and then Cool Tide may have been 92. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it's fantastic. It's got a bit of an American soul kind of vibe to it. A bit sort of Motown-y in places, but just wonderful songs, and always great to check in with a bit of John Martin, one of my all-time favourite artists, and just loved that one. Absolutely fantastic. So, the one I put at number 1 is a reissue. I'm not sure if it came out last year or not, and I just think it's an incredible record. I've played it quite a few times this year, and every time I've played it, I've been more and more kind of knocked out by it. It's got a fantastic, dark, classic 1970s heavy rock sound to it. A band that I have been meaning to check out properly for a long time, and still got a few missing from the collection. But I picked up the reissue of Mad Shadows by Mott the Hoople, and it's a brilliant reissue. Sounds great. The music is brilliant. It's just, like I said, heavy, dark, overpowering at times, a little bit psychotic. You've got the track When My Mind's Gone at the end of side 2, which pretty much sums up the mood of the music. No Wheels to Ride. Just an amazing performance. Quite sort of hovering on the edge of chaos sometimes. Just a mad, churning sound. Mott the Hoople, such a compulsive band, really. I mean, they had different phases in their career. You know, clearly they had a folk rock phase. They had a bit of a pop glam phase. This is an early album, maybe in their second record. Could be mistaken. but I just loved it, and it gets better with each listen, which to me is the hallmark of a great album. And the reissue is very good quality, very nice pressing, very quiet, so I thought I would have that at number 1 for 2021. So I've already got a few records lined up to show for 2022, but we'll get to those in due course. So just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody, subscribers and commenters in 2021. It was a great year on the VC, I think. I really enjoyed it. Lots going on, and I'm hoping 2022 will be equally as good. I may not be as visible for a while in 2022. I've got a couple of projects on the go. I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm not going to say anything at the moment, but 2022 probably won't be as busy on this channel as 2021 was. I counted, actually, I did 73 videos in 2021, and that's not including the videos where I guested on other people's channels. It was a truly full-on year. This year won't be as busy. I'll be hanging around, I'll be here, but perhaps not as often, so do stick with me. I will wish you all a very happy new year and a prosperous one. Let's hope things quieten down in the world out there, and we all have a prosperous year. So take care everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.